You're listening to Cinema IRL, the podcast that throws you into the movie and asks the question, what would you do? People can come up with some real strange imaginary friends. In If, they try to set up a free cycle program for these weirdos. Amber and Scott like free cycling, but what would they do if that damn Keith won't get out of the way? And now, Cinema IRL.
I wish I could switch places for just one day.
You find yourself in the unique position.
What would you do?
Put yourself in my shoes.
How do we handle this?
What do you do?
What would you do?
How do you want to handle this?
What would you do? Put yourself in my position.
What would you do?
Now it's your turn.
I don't want to grow up. You can't make me.
That's a flashback. You Toys R Us kid, you. So this episode is about If, which stands for imaginary friend. If is about a girl who discovers that she can see everyone's imaginary friends and what she does with that superpower as she embarks upon a magical adventure to reconnect forgotten ifs with her kids. What'd you think of this?
Well, reminder to everyone, whenever you're listening to Cinema IRL, there are spoilers everywhere.
We ruin it all, so
Yeah.
hopefully you've seen the film by the time you get to us.
Yes. I mean, listen, this is coming from the perspective here of a guy who refuses to grow up.
That's true. You definitely were the John Krasinski character.
Yes.
And the John Krasinski character, for those who haven't seen the film, was basically a grown-up kid and would always do pranks. And then they would tell him, oh, you should stop it. And he was like, never.
Never.
Yeah,
no. So as a guy who never wants to grow up, it got dusty near the end.
Yeah. I definitely felt like there was some sniffling coming from your seat.
Yeah, no, I mean, I have to keep breathing, so sniffling was going to be the order of the day.
Yeah, you beat the sniffling you got there about 5 minutes before I did. But yeah, I definitely got some smoke in my eyes too.
Yeah. Okay, but what would you do?
Yes.
So this is, I like episodes like this because we get to get a little silly, and I enjoy that. I mean, I feel like you're mostly have to deal with the girl.
The main character, the little girl.
Yeah, so you're, going about your life, doing whatever, and all of a sudden, these weird shaped-looking motherfuckers appear out of nowhere, and you're like, I don't think I smoked pot or did LSD.
Yeah, there was a gummy teddy bear and a glass of water, which was a whole other thing. A unicorn and a purple blob named Blue, even though it was purple, and all kinds of a superhero kind of one and a spy.
I was at Cosmo. That might have been my favorite. Cloak and Dagger.
Yeah, just kind of a very mysterious spy type person.
It was great.
So did you have an imaginary friend when you were growing up?
Not that I'm going to tell you about.
Well, how about them? I won't listen.
Oh, no, honestly, not really.
I did. I know her name was Cindy. I don't remember anything what she looked like, and I don't know how long I had her, but I know I had an imaginary friend at least some point.
Yeah, I
needed an imaginary friend.
You see, I had siblings. Too many of them. I was hoping some of them might become imaginary at times.
Poof, you just stopped seeing them one day.
But no, they were still there. Yeah, so that's a real interesting phenomenon of, like, obviously we like to play the what would you do if it's real life, and you see this in real life and you're just like, I mean, seriously, I'm going to try to figure out, did someone slip me a Mickey here?
But, as a kid, though, kids aren't as suspicious and skeptical. So, try to think of if it were you, but you were also young you. Because as an adult, sure, you're going to think, who spiked my drink? But if you're a kid, you're going to be like, what's going on? But you're going to be curious, and you're probably going to be more open-minded.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I feel like, what was the girl's name? Do you remember?
Oh, gosh, I don't.
Okay, good. So I'm not the only one. I feel like when she went to the retirement home,
there was a retirement home for all the ifs whose kids had forgotten about them.
And she realized that she had power. to be able to change things based on her imagination. I feel like that might have taken a very, very dark turn if it had been me. All of a sudden...
Again, you're a kid. You're not the messed up adult you've grown up to be.
Oh, don't you think for a second I wasn't a messed up kid, too.
Maybe that's the problem. You never grew up, but you're still that messed up kid.
Yes, the problem is that people always said, Scott, never change. So I didn't. I'm just every bit as messed up as I've always been. No. But no, actually, it probably still would have taken a pretty dark turn. Maybe not as dark as it would be today. But
That was a whimsical scene of all kinds of fabulous things happening. And the effects, oh my gosh, I was blown away over the effects in that scene. What they can do in films with computers and AI and everything, just mind-blowing. But okay, but let's go back then. So you are, let's just say, young messed up Scott. And you all of a sudden see a bunch of cartoony type characters and they need your help, and they have all been forgotten by their kids and they're sad and they don't have purpose. What do you do? I mean, this is probably not the best question aimed at you because you're not terribly altruistic.
I mean,
you probably find a way to monetize it and charge them for some sort of referral service or something.
I hadn't thought about that, but I like the way your mind works.
No, it's just I know the way your mind
works.
I know the way your mind works.
We're gonna monetize imaginary friends. Like basically, it's ifus.
Are you having a stroke over there?
And ifus, IFA.
Are you doing like octopus and octopi? And you're gonna say
IFAAS, imaginary friends as a service. Like it's you've got to have a monthly subscription fee for your imaginary friend.
Yeah, it's a subscription model. Everything's moving to a subscription model nowadays.
As soon as imaginary friends become subscription models, we are fucked as a society.
Like, oh, Jimmy, why are you rocking back and forth in a corner? I couldn't pay the subscription anymore on Waldo, and I'm all by myself.
Waldo. I can never find him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, and really, when we're talking about what would you do, there really is only the little girl character to even contemplate, because the dad popped in here and there for a joke, but was otherwise, even though he was
getting his heart sliced open.
Yeah, he was kind of, and it was weird. She'd come in, she'd give him flowers, and she'd leave. I found that kind of strange. But none of the adult characters, besides Ryan Reynolds, which is another story.
Yeah, I give spoilers. I'm going to leave that one alone.
Yeah. So there's really no other character to dive into of what would you do.
Yeah, I mean,
unless you want to ask what the big purple monster would do. If you were the big purple monster that had been forgotten by his little boy whose family owned a bakery, what would you do?
I mean, let's be honest. Aren't I really Blue? Like,
Blue was a big monster that fell a lot and made the theater vibrate because we saw it in Dolby.
Yeah.
That issue, isn't it?
Yeah. I feel like I relate to him. He might be my spirit if. So, no, I mean, like, we have to do this because it was a good movie. This isn't admittedly the best what would you do, because you're right, there really is about one character that you can truly pull a perspective from, and it's not like she had a ton of option as to...
Well, she needed, I think, it came at a time where she needed a distraction because her mama died and her dad was going through this health crisis. And she needed a distraction. All of a sudden, this distraction presented itself with all the imaginary friends. And we find out at the end of the film why.
Yeah, exactly. It was, I guess I don't know really how I would handle that as a kid, because I'm not a kid. I guess it also would depend on your age. Like, she was 12.
Well, I know I'd help because I'm a helper. I'm a helper at heart.
Yeah, I think I would. I'm not so much of a helper. I think I'd see it as a puzzle. Like, okay, we have all these ifs over here, which, by my perspective, are going to fucking haunt me forever unless I actually help them get back to their kids, because...
They gave no indication they were going to haunt anybody.
That's not true. Ryan Reynolds said that he couldn't ever make them go away. And he'd seen them for years and years.
Well, that's different than haunting.
Well...
They
won't leave.
That's a guest who doesn't know when it's appropriate to say their goodnights.
I mean, that's close enough to haunting. That's close enough. No, I mean, I'd be like, okay, here's a game. You are a big purple blob. You are an old-timey dancer-looking person. You are a toasted marshmallow with your eye falling off. You're a giant gummy bear that's got gas. Obviously.
You are.
Obviously, I take the giant gummy bear with the gas.
That's a match made in heaven.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, it'd be fun to try to match them up. I'd see it as a puzzle. You're right. I probably wouldn't be doing it for altruistic method or reasons, but I do it because I don't know.
Like a good challenge.
I do. I like a good challenge. I like a good puzzle. So that's.
And yeah, I can see you embracing that as how do I use my skills to place all of these imaginary friends?
Yep.
And how do I get paid on the back end?
Imaginary friends as a service.
We hope you enjoyed our episode. Thank you for listening. And to catch all the new episodes, please subscribe. We release 2 to 3 episodes weekly, so we'll have new content regularly. Until next time.